Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. My name's AJ, and today's video I'm going to be talking about news events that's happening around the world over the last few days, and I'm going to be talking about stuff that's going on in UK, COP26, China, as well as America, and I'll give you my views and opinions based on that. And before I do, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and if you really like the video, don't forget to join my Patreon, or you can buy me a coffee. So without further ado, guys, let's go on with the show. So before I start the show today, I'm going to share something with you really funny, guys. I don't normally do this, but I have to share this with you because I just saw this message sent to me today, and absolutely hilarious, guys, hilarious. So I did this video a couple of days ago. Indian media falsely shared Indian army capturing PLA soldiers was taken from a Bollywood movie. So it's basically a story about how Indian media was going crazy that they captured 20 Chinese soldiers and they were showing clips that were being circulated around social media saying, oh, we've captured these Chinese soldiers. But unfortunately, these images were taken from a Bollywood movie. So I had this Indian guy here who messaged me today, and I just found this absolutely hilarious, guys. Look at what he says. So his name's called Anton Sokolov, and don't go by his name because it's probably a fake name. You know how like Indians in call centers have white people's names or European names, especially when I'm on Amazon, for example. If I go on Amazon support, I get these Indian guys who say, "Oh, hi, my name's Jack Smith." You're not really Jack Smith. What's your real name? Your Indian name? Oh, it's Jack Smith. Jack Smith. And you know, they're just making up these false names. And so look what this guy says. By the way, show me the link which movie clip it is. I dare you to show me the clip. If you have one father, I dare you to show me the movie clip where it's taken. So see these Indian guys, right? They just completely lost in their rhetoric against China. They completely believe their own lies, and you know, a story like this to an Indian is heartbreaking. The fact that their media is lying to them, and you know, and they haven't really captured 20 Chinese soldiers. So something like this is really a heartbreaking story for them. So I replied to him, I said, watch the video, it's in there. So he watched the video, he goes, where exactly? The name of the movie is not mentioned. What's the name of the film? Bot. So I replied to him, and he hasn't replied back. I said, here it is. You know, the truth hurts. So if you click on the link, right? So even this link admits it was a fake story. And that's the image that's been circulated around. But the movie clip is from a Bollywood movie, and I think I'll show you the Bollywood movie here. And even they're saying it's all fake. And this is the Bollywood movie here, as you can see. It's behind the scenes shooting. This is behind the scenes shooting, so they want to like. They've been taking like images from here. Can you see? They've been taking these images and like sharing it around. So these Indians, they don't want to believe it, even though it's from a Bollywood movie. It's like it makes these kind of stories make them so happy, but they don't want to believe that it's fake or it's wrong. I mean, I can't believe some of these Indian guys, man. Talking of Indian guys, they just can't keep their mouth shut. There's this Indian guy on Eternals, right? And he recently came out today sending a tweet attacking all the Marvel fans. And obviously, Marvel fans are not going to be happy about that. So it caused a big stir, and he was trending all over Twitter. And Disney must have got on his ass or got on the phone or something, asked him to delete it. Then he deleted it. But the damage was done. It's been sent out all over Twitter and shared by everyone. So this guy, you know, just himself, you know, it's pissing off all the Marvel fans. And the film, right, it looks like it's getting review bombed everywhere. It doesn't look like it's going to be very good. All the critics are hating it. And the thing is, this film was made for the critics. It's just there to pander for the critics. It's all about diversity. We got 10 people in there. It's all diverse, all shapes and colours, all different types of people. But in terms of storyline, it's absolutely crap, apparently. And there's also a gay sex scene as well, which I'm not going to get into. But yeah, it just looks really crap. And it's all about diversity. It's all about making those LGBTQ ABCD people happy. The alphabet crew have taken 20% of the alphabet, and apparently this LGBTQ thing has got longer. They've added all these new people to it. They've added an I to it. They've added A to it, and it's ridiculous. And the I probably stands for Indian, so they probably want to be part of that crew. So it's absolutely ridiculous that they made these films to pander for a minority. I mean, how many minority people are there compared to majority of population? There's not many LGBTQ, trans and gay and lesbian. There's only a minority compared to the general population. So, if you're going to pander and make films for them, what about the rest of the population? You're just going to piss them off. So I just don't understand what's going on in Hollywood at the moment. It's just taken over by all of these woke activists, and all the films coming out of Hollywood are just woke trash, really. And the only film I'm going to see in cinema this weekend is Dune. So I'll give a review of that once I watch it. But this Eternals, no way. I'm never going to watch this, not even on DVD, or even if anyone forces me to watch it. Even if it comes on TV, I'll just change the channel. I would never watch this shit. I'm not going to support this at all. And I don't think this film's going to make any money, to be honest, in the box office. And I really hope this film does not make any money, because nobody wants to support this woke trash that's coming out of Hollywood. There's all of these films that are coming out of Hollywood just full of woke trash, one film after another. It's just all about, it's just these woke feminists and activists taking over Hollywood. It's almost like, it's absolutely ridiculous. And if this film does badly, I hope Marvel gets a kick up the backside. You'll also teach that Chloe Zhao a lesson as well. She obviously got a bit too full of herself just because she got a Marvel job. She's never going to work again. Because of her, Marvel's losing millions, even close to $500 million they're probably going to lose. They're going to lose the Chinese market because of her. And any film she makes, they're not going to go into the Chinese market. So this is her last film, really. Disney is all about making money. If someone doesn't make money for them, they're out. So Chloe Zhao's not going to make any money for them. So she's going to be out. She's not going to make any more films for Marvel. She's going to disappear, go back to making independent movies. But yeah, she insulted the Chinese public by saying China is full of lies. Well, America's full of lies as well. Look, what a hypocrite she is. Has she seen all the lies America's been talking about China? All of these lab leaks and forced labor and Uyghur, slaves and concentration camps and all of this crap that's coming out of America. What about that? What a hypocrite. Anyway, I hope this film doesn't do well, and I hope Chloe Zhao just disappears from the industry. So back to the main story, guys. Looks like France and UK are having a trade war at the moment, and things could escalate by next week. So this is because England has been rejecting a lot of French fishing boats to fish around UK fishing waters, while and because of Brexit, they've been rejecting all the French ships. The French is obviously angry about that. So they said if this is not sorted, they're going to start giving sanctions. And these sanctions are quite heavy. So they're talking about cutting energy. They'll cut energy, and they'll also stop British ships from all the French ports. And that's a big deal, because British ships need to stopping the French ports for export and import reasons, and obviously that goes to the rest of Europe. So if they stop British ships from docking into French ports, that's going to cause a huge economic impact. So so this is because because of the AUKUS deal, the French and the English have not been getting along very well, because the English went behind French's back and did the AUKUS deal, and that's what you get, guys. If you're gonna stab your neighbours round the back, don't expect any favours from them. And this is all Boris's fault, to be honest. And whatever happens to UK, they probably deserve it, because this is all about their arrogance, and they think they're better than everyone else, and going into Brexit, they think they're the best, and rest of Europe is crap, and they don't need Europe. England can live by themselves. But since Brexit, there's been a huge economic impact, not only from COVID but also from Brexit, and a lot of people don't realise this yet. And I'm surprised people are not going out in the street and protesting against Boris and the government, because this guy is leading the country into a really, really bad state. And I can see it, and a lot of people can see it, but most people can't. And but they will see it around Christmas time, when things really get bad. Because right now, at the moment, with inflation rising, cost of living is rising, taxes are rising, bills are rising, energy bills are rising, everything's rising. And one thing the banks are going to do to stop the inflation is they're going to raise interest rates. And when the interest rates are risen, basically people are going to be homeless, because people are going to have to pay more money for mortgages and loans, and that's going to completely destroy families once that happens. And so there's going to be some major issues happening in the next few months. So watch this space, guys. Here are also some other things that the French can do. They will also add more checks in the ports and controls and customs as well. More security checks on British vessels. All of this is going to cause huge economic impact to UK, and already UK is suffering from Brexit and COVID as well. So this is going to escalate next week, and once it does, I don't think things are going to look very good for UK. So this is quite funny, guys. Boris Johnson urges EU to back UK in Brexit fishing row with France. So it's gonna pretty much begging the EU to back UK. Why would they bloody back the UK? Oh my god. The EU is basically controlled by two major countries, the Germans and the French, and the French get along with the Germans much better than they would with the UK. So why would the EU support UK over France? It makes no sense. Boris is absolutely living in another world. He's like a little clown. Those circus clowns, those conductors you get, Zippo's circus. This is Boris's circus. He's absolutely ridiculous, guys. This guy hasn't got a clue. So I want to also talk about his budget guy as well, Rishi Sunak. This guy also doesn't have a clue, and he's like a few fruit away from being a fruit basket. So this guy, absolutely ridiculous, guys. You got COP26 happening this weekend, and what does this guy do? He reduces tax on domestic flights, and while EU countries are banning domestic flights, this guy reduces tax on domestic flights. Nobody flies with domestic flights in UK. This guy is a complete hypocrite. And not only that, if he reduces tax on domestic flights, what's that going to increase? It's going to increase CO2. And with COP26 just, one day away, this guy makes a budget to increase more CO2 in UK. Absolutely makes no sense. Complete hypocrites just before COP26. He just gives the wrong message and the wrong signal. So what this guy should have done is reduce taxes on rail. Because right now, rail is a mess in UK, absolute mess. To go from London to Manchester, the other day, the tickets are between 80 to £180, depending on what time you fly, what time you go on the train. On rush hours, it's I think in the mornings, it's about £180 if you book it last minute, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, these charges, and they could have reduced the travel on the trains and help make it more green. It's really stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Instead, they put these tax cuts on these useless flights that nobody really flies with anyway. I mean, this guy's got no clue whatsoever. This whole government has no clue. So, I also want to talk about HS2 as well. So there's a lot of people that are angry with HS2 because the cost for HS2 has ballooned, quadrupled over the past few years, and right now it's even going even further, and it's gone over 110 billion or 120 billion right now, while the whole project was supposed to cost 30 billion a few years ago. So now it's gone over 120 billion, and they're making cuts now. And they're cutting certain sections of the HS2, which means they're going to be using the existing tracks. And when they're using the existing tracks, the trains are going to travel basically the same speed as the existing trains have been going on, or maybe a little bit faster. And it's just not going to make any difference, guys. Absolutely not going to make any difference. When you got these normal trains from London to Birmingham, London to Manchester, which are really, really expensive, how much do you think this HS2 is going to be when it eventually comes online? It's going to be triple or even quadruple the cost, because they gotta get these costs back, right? So if they're going to charge ridiculous amounts, nobody's even going to go on them. And how much time are you going to save? I made a video about this a few months ago. Basically, from London to Birmingham, the time difference is only about 20 minutes faster, except you're going to be paying a lot more for it. And 120 billion just for something that's 20 minutes faster. It's not even high-speed rail like the ones China has got, or Japan, or anything like that. These are not really high speed. These are just, average speed. It's completely waste of money, guys. And now the Birmingham to Leeds link is going to be exactly the same speed, or maybe a little bit faster, maybe 5-10 minutes faster. So what's the point? What kind of difference is that going to make? It's not going to make any difference. It's not going to make any difference at all. And these guys are just living in cloud cuckoo land. I also want to share this article. They're blaming China again, guys. Look. Mega projects have been accused of gobbling up concrete supplies, while steel makers face a magnesium drought caused by China. So basically, a lot of these raw materials around the world, especially concrete and aluminium and things like that, they're going up in price. These raw material prices are happening everywhere, in China, in all over the world, but they're still blaming China for it. It's not their fault, end of the day. So I think it's just rather idiotic when these papers start blaming China for all of their issues. So COP26 is happening, and Greta Thunberg has already landed. And those who don't know Greta Thunberg, she's like a climate activist. She made a speech last time when the G7 was here, and she was going like, these leaders, all they do is blah 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 blah, which was quite funny. But she's right. All these climate activists, all they do is talk, and they don't agree to anything. And this COP26 is going to be such a failure, guys. Absolute failure. So Boris Johnson tells Chinese President Xi to accelerate plans to reach peak carbon emissions. Like Xi's going to listen to this guy. He phoned Putin a few days ago. Now he's phoning Xi, asking for favors. And we all know what Xi's gonna reply back with. He's gonna be nice about it, but he's gonna be saying, what the what the F, just get off the phone, just piss off, all you. Because you can't expect G to do him any favours, especially when all the stuff that he's been doing to China this year, all these, sending ships and, talking about Uyghur genocide and doing this stupid tribunal and kicking out Huawei. The list just goes on and on and on. Seriously, this guy's a poodle to America and expects you to do him a favour on COP26. Well, forget that. So I'm going to talk about Biden as well. Biden's pushing his 1.75 trillion infrastructure bill. And the funny thing is about this infrastructure bill, it's got nothing to do with infrastructure. So if you look at the bill itself, it's got childcare, it's got climate change, it's got healthcare, it's got housing, it's got immigration, education, and other investments. But I don't see any infrastructure there. So they call it an infrastructure bill with there's no infrastructure in it. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the infrastructure in America is crumbling. Absolutely crumbling. It's so bad. The ports are so bad. I mean, in China, all the ports are automated. They got 5G. It's so fast, but the ports in America, they're just old-fashioned. They're very, very old, manual labor. That's why it's so slow. These infrastructure all over America is just ridiculous. And just to build an infrastructure bill to send through Congress takes ages, and it's hard work, and no wonder nothing gets done in America. But only thing is easy to sell in America is war. That's why America's economy, they need war for it to run, and that's the only thing that sells in America. That's the only thing Congress agrees to. But everything else, nope. So that's all it is, guys. All it is, just wasting money, wasting time, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to be talking about this guy now. So he's been sending a lot more videos recently, and his latest video, he's having a go at Nike, and he's saying Nike is a hypocrite and stuff. But what this idiot doesn't know, right? This idiot doesn't know is Nike is under pressure in China for coming out and saying that we can't use products that is used by Uyghur forced labor. So Nike is under pressure in China. Well, this guy in America, he's having a go at Nike for being in China, for making shoes in China. So this guy, he must have had a couple of basketballs to his head hit very hard. He's absolutely got no brains, and he's walking around with these shoes, right? And look at these shoes. They got the East Turkestan flag on it. So these East Turkestan flag designers, or these people who are kind of making him say all of this, he's got probably some influence by some of these East Turkestan guys. He's probably sleeping around with a couple of East Turkestan activists or something, because I'm sure maybe he's got a girlfriend who's an activist or something like that, because it just makes no sense why he would walk around with these shoes with East Turkestan flag in it. So there's more history about this guy. Apparently he's been kicked out of Turkey, and he's under I think he for terrorism charges. He's been kicked out of China. Kicked out of Turkey. He's not allowed back in Turkey because of terrorism charges. And now he's supporting other terrorists, ETIM, East Turkestan terrorism. And so this guy, he's got alternative motives. So maybe what's happening is his career is about to go down, and he can't stay in America. So they're probably going to send him back to Turkey. So he doesn't want to go back to Turkey. So he's making up all this shit, and CIA is probably saying, if you do this for us, we'll make sure you get citizenship in the US. So you do this for us, mate, and we'll sort you out. So that's probably why he's doing it all, just for citizenship in the US, because he can't go back to Turkey because he'll get shot or put into prison. So he's doing this for the US. I mean, this is the only reason why he's doing it. Why isn't any other NBA player doing it? Because no other NBA player is stupid as this guy. Literally, I mean, look at this guy's face. He literally got hit in the face with a couple of basketballs. I'm sure of it. I mean, I'm sure of it. So I also want to talk about some good stuff. Finally, this is a UK paper called Express, and I was reading this article, and I just noticed that the China map, they're showing Taiwan in it. Because normally when I see Chinese map in Western papers, especially British papers, they usually leave Taiwan out, and this is the first time I've seen Taiwan be put into a Chinese map, which is good, really. And I just wanted to end the show with that. So a bit of good news, but the rest of it obviously is bad news. But that's all for today, guys. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.